So,
I just have to be home before 7, that's all.
Oh, no problems at all.
Okay. Glenn's got to go to work.
What do you think I'm going to be like whining and dining you here, mate?
I don't know, mate. Don't know what to expect.
Nah, you're so firstly, thanks for coming in early. It's
Yeah, no probs.
certainly. How close do you live to your work itself?
So it's only in your minor.
Oh, right, easy. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool beans. All right,
yeah,
I'll
yeah, yeah,
make sure that you weren't like going
yeah.
crazy out of space. Okay. So, um, all right, we look like we're lined up and ready to rock and roll. So, dude, we'll give the crew a couple of minutes if they would like to come in live. Good morning, guys.
Yep.
If you're coming into this one live, certainly say hello and howdy in the comments. We've got a nice early start for this little client interview, which is going to be bloody cool. And I was looking at your results over just a moment ago. Holy shit! Like, talk about crazy. Like, you must be extremely proud of yourself. But don't tell anyone about them now. We want to save it for the actual episode. So, guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to start this in 2 minutes. So, if you're coming into this one live and you want to ask some questions, amazing, amazing, amazing. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Carly Stewart. Good morning, Ashley Sonta. Good morning, Kayla Samet. How are you, Kayla? I hope you're good, and welcome to our academy. You're doing so good. This is going to be a really great demonstration of what happens when you follow the plan, right? Katie, true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And hubby's coming in here for good support as well. Hello, Gleno. I love that you're in here, mate. Good morning, Loz. I hope you're well, guys. We're going to wait one more minute, and then we are ready to rock and roll. And I can't carry this on for too long either, Kate, because I am literally flying to Scotland in about 6 hours to run the Scotland retreat, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, wow.
And
That's so awesome.
I have not packed anything yet. So
That's my style too.
Claudia's going to come home and she's like, "You're not going to help me pack with the kids?" Oh, no, that's no good. Guys, if you're coming into this one live, make sure you say hi in the comments. Hello, Benny. Lovely to have your company in here today as well, champion. And this interview is going to be very, very cool. We're going to do a bit of a dive into how Kate has got her tremendous results so far. So if you do listen to this one on replay, guys, you know what to do. #replay. I just want to let you all know as well that if you are waiting on merch specifically, actually your merch went into the post to Australia yesterday. And so we'll be with Carly by the end of the month and then in your hot little hands very, very soon. Sound good? All right, chick, you're ready to rock and roll? Good morning, Jules. I hope you're well. You ready to rock and roll, Kate?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my notifications off so my wife can't get through to me like she usually does. And we are going to go live. Let's do it. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you are sick of the dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. Now, I am here with what I approximate to be maybe my equal third or fourth longest friend, Miss Kate Ashley. How are you, Katie? Good?
I'm great.
Lovely. Katie is 42 years young. Are you 42 yet?
Not yet.
When are you turning?
Not yet. Not till January, mate.
Not till January, mate. Quick to collect. Hey, listen, I first met Kate when we were in kindergarten. She was my like little girlfriend, and I was her little boyfriend. And I can remember like absolute clear as day. Kate would just boss me around like she was the ultimate boss. All right, and so wheel comes full circle, and Kate's now with us in our mentorship program, which is really great. I'm just bringing this out a little bit, Kate. Can you see if you can sit a little bit to the middle, just a touch if you can? So yeah, just so we can bring you into the Instagram crowd and doesn't look like I'm actually talking to a wall. Anyway, so guys, I want to talk about Kate's results straight up. Now, straight away, here's the thing. When it comes to women and weight loss, It is, generally speaking, and I'm generalizing, of course, it's a lot more difficult for women to lose weight, generally speaking. And the reason for it is that women have naturally a, a lesser amount of muscle mass, which means that losing weight is a little bit more difficult because metabolisms are slower. So if you are, the typical man and woman in a partnership and you guys decide to go on a health kick, it can be really, really difficult for the woman who is, seeing really great results for her man, and maybe she's a little bit behind that. So to those of you that like feel some of that pain, I just want you to know it's completely normal. But the great thing about what Kate's managed to do is, even though she's been doing this with her beautiful husband Glenn, they've done it in a way that's together but separate, supporting each other but looking after each other as well, and doing their own thing. Can we start by talking like why you got started in the first place, Kate?
Yeah, I think it was more after I turned 40,
Mm,
and I was probably the heaviest that I had ever been,
mm,
and I got desperate. And I mean, I've tried a lot of different things, from Weight Watchers to prescription pills and everything like that. Whatever was there, I pretty much tried. And and it wasn't until you put up that you're going to do this challenge in
mm,
October last year.
mm,
And I mean, I've always known that you've done the BBA, as you say. I've known you for most of my life. So I've always seen and, watched quite a few of our friends and everything, um, get some amazing results. And anyway, I thought, you know what, before I go, I was ready to go to my doctor and ask for the injections,
okay.
um, for those Ozempic injections.
Right, right.
Um, anyway, when you put that up that you're doing the challenge,
Mm,
I was like, you know what, I'll give that a go first and see how I go.
mm.
And now
You,
I'm here.
yeah. You know what I was doing? So I was checking over your actual results this morning. And for those of you that are watching on Instagram, you might be able to see them. You won't be able to see them else because I can't share them. But basically, if we go back to October, when you first checked in, you were at, if I hope you don't mind me saying, you're at 130
Yep.
centimeters around the waist and 105 kilograms. So 130 centimeters around the waist, 105
Yep.
kilograms. Checking in today, which was October, we're talking about what? Maybe 10 months on? Would that be accurate?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, roughly 10 or 11 months on. Kate is 51 centimeters down, 51 centimeters down on both hip and waist circumference, and over 25 kilos down in weight. Like, I just want you to think about that for a moment, guys. 51 centimeters down. And given, you know, she was so desperate at that time that she got started, half a meter off your waist circumference, man, your clothes must be just like, just falling off you
Yeah.
everywhere, right?
Oh, I have to have a whole new wardrobe,
Yeah,
like complete new wardrobe.
yeah. Dude, take me back to October last year. Why do you think, like, reflecting on that, why did the weight come on at the start? Like, what were you struggling with? Was it sort of post pregnancy weight? What happened?
It was pregnancy, yeah. So with my son, I probably put on about a good 20-25 kilos.
Hmm.
Um, and then I just didn't manage to lose it. And I fell pregnant again with my daughter 5 years later.
Hmm.
So she was born in 2021.
Hmm.
And then I just, I was very up and down, like you know, doing like shakes and things like that. And, so I would lose maybe a few kilos, start feeling really good. And then as soon as I stopped doing them, it was just like, boom, just
Mm,
more coming back on.
mm,
And I guess it just got out of control. And as soon as I hit 40, it was, I was always told how hard it was to lose weight after
mm,
40.
mm,
And basically, I almost tried to get myself into a mindset of, this is how it is. This is, you need to start loving what you are and everything like that. And I don't know, like I couldn't do it. Like I knew I had to do something. Because I started hating going out. I didn't want to go and see people, and I'm such a social person, so it was very different. And especially seeing people that I hadn't seen for a while. And all I kept thinking, like, if I ran into them in the street, they're just thinking, oh my God, how big has she gotten now? And, that was more in the back of my mind than what I would even be talking to the person about. So it was pretty bad. As I said, like I was even about to go and get these injections, like, that was where I was at. But I thought, no, I knew that, how I'd heard about how good your program was. I'd seen how good your program was. And I was like, well, look, I'm just going to see if it's for me. And I've never looked back.
Like, and I know how many people are in that mindset. And I just want to acknowledge something that I'd love all men to understand. And this isn't like some PR bullshit that I'm saying this. I'd love all men to understand the fact that, like, women go through childbirth. Women also have the raging hormonal scenario once a month. We as men don't have to deal with that. And the third thing is that they've got generally lesser muscle mass naturally. So there's three things here that are working against women, and three very sizable things that make weight maintenance and particularly post-pregnancy really, really difficult. And by the sounds of what you've said here, you kind of were getting to the point where you're almost like lost faith in your ability to actually get the weight off ever. Like, is this just, I just have to accept
Oh,
it?
yeah. Yeah. That was exactly it. And I was like, it's not like as though I wasn't an active person either. Like, I've always gone to the gym. Like, quite a fair bit, and I would work out. And I was definitely one of those people that, I was in the gym 6, sometimes 7 days a week. And I was still putting on weight.
Wow.
Like, it just never made sense to me. And I just put it down to, oh, yeah, it must be just I've got such a shit metabolism, and you're 40. Live with it.
So let's talk about that, because ironically, you thought you had a shit metabolism, but as your coach, I believe the reason that this program's been so successful and you've done so well is actually because you've got a very strong metabolism. Reflecting on the fact that you've continued to lift weights, even when you were carrying weight, you continue to go to the gym, and you said sometimes 5 to 6 days a week. I'm not suggesting that 5 to 6 days a week is necessary, but the fact that under the layer of fat that you had was actual muscle and not just skin and bone has actually been the reason that you haven't needed to cut down to ridiculous calorie levels to actually get your weight to shift. So this has got to point to, rather than me give the answer, I want to ask you the questions. Early on in the challenge that you did, what kind of initial behavioral changes did you make that led to you losing, say, the first 5 to 8 kilos?
A portion control.
Okay.
That was a big thing. And the protein, like really realizing like how, because I never thought that I was eating like a huge amount. But obviously I was eating a lot of the wrong type of foods.
Okay.
I think that was the biggest thing. And really focusing on the protein. 10,000 steps too. Like, it really opened up my eyes. How many steps that I wasn't getting. And it's funny, like, because I have a sit down office job, and when I first started, I was like, 5,000, that's going to be my target. And I was hitting that, and I was going okay. And then that lasted for a week and a half, and I actually did hit 10,000 for the first time one day. Right. And I sort of thought to myself, if I can hit 10,000 today, why the fuck can I hit it tomorrow?
Wow.
And from that, honestly, from that day on, I am now on the 10,000 streak. Like, I haven't stopped since then.
Fantastic. Okay. You've got 2 kiddos?
Yep.
Right. How do you fit in that dedication to your steps being a working mum that's got 2 kids? How do you actually do that practically?
It's hard, especially because Glenn is also, such
Work.
a strong member in the BBA as well, and he's got such a focus on his health too. So we have to really find that balance. And our kids are small too, so we can't leave them at home.
Yes.
So that's why, like, I've already been to the gym this morning. I set my alarm for 4 o'clock.
Okay, that's what. Can we just stop for a second?
And that's what I do.
Hang on, Chica. Can we just stop for a second? In Australia, where Kate is, it is 6:17 a.m. So if you listen on replay, it's 6:17 a.m. Now, is this level of commitment necessary? That's arguable. But I tell you what, if you want it, this is how you do it. Kate,
Yeah.
we agreed to have this podcast episode at 6 a.m. So as opposed to what I thought a normal human would do is, okay, cool, I just won't go to the gym tomorrow. She got up at 4. Like,
no, that's not how I roll.
we, talk about not being willing to negotiate with yourself. What a level of commitment that is. Now, that's not always going to be possible for everyone. I totally acknowledge that. Having said that, when you get in such deep pain points like it sounds like you were in, Kate, and once you got started and you could start to self-believe just a little bit, you didn't want to let yourself get back there. Right? I'm not going back to that old me.
Never.
Okay. That took care of the first kind of 5 to 8 kilos. How do you, do you feel like things have become, how has your lifestyle changed, I guess is what I want to ask. Like, overall, how has your lifestyle changed? Do you feel like, are you rejecting the idea of like, fuck, man, like I don't feel like doing this anymore? Or is it now become easier
No,
for you?
It's definitely routine. It's routine. It's life now. Like, Glenn and I have made the choice. Like, this is a lifestyle. This isn't a program to us. Like, it really has. Like, this is just such a way of life for us. And it's, our brains are so, I don't know. We've just been so programmed to. Like, we had a weekend away together, which we hadn't for ages. And we had the best time, but we didn't indulge in, like, like takeaways and things like that. Like, back in the day, that would have been a free for all. It would have just been, yep, let loose. We let loose and had the best time ever. But we still had in the back of our minds, all right, then you don't want to blow up and then, have to work to get that. You don't want to put on like 3 kilos or whatever just because you want to have a good weekend. We manage now to, to sort of, it's just our mindset that's changed. In all honesty, our mindset's changed, and we both don't ever want to go back to what it was before.
Can you explain, because a lot of the ladies watching this will be like naturally like, fuck, like 25 kilos, like, my God, that feels so far away. How what do you mean your mindset's changed? Can you talk to us about how that has actually happened? How has your mindset changed? Because
yeah, I think it's just like, after every 5, 10, 15 kilos, the way that you feel inside, it's like, this feeling feels so much better than going out and getting a Big Mac. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to, I don't know when the mind shift really happened. It's sort of like been a really slow process. And of course, there's days where I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get up. The alarm goes off. It's freezing outside. I don't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning. My toddler's been up and down all night. She doesn't sleep well. but that alarm goes off and I will lay there going, all right, having that little bit of a mind battle, but I do not indulge in that mind battle too much, because sometimes if it, like, it'll win, and if I am like going back to sleep or whatever, and what wins out for me in the end, if I am having that, battle in my mind, do I go, do I not? It's, you don't regret the workouts that you do, you regret the ones that you miss.
Ah.
And that motivates me enough
Yeah.
to get up and just go, you know what, just get out there. I have my clothes ready all the time. That's a big thing. Have my clothes ready next to me. Yep. Quick, get 10 minutes there. And once I get there and I do my workout, and I will come home feeling so much better than if I've laid in bed for maybe another half an hour before my kids come and jump on my head.
Does anyone else listening just think that this is a phenomenal turnaround? Like, how does a person go from getting so desperate that they're kind of going down the pills, surgery / line, to having the momentum and motivation that you've got? Like, this is incredible, actually. This is incredible.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
What
It really is. Like, I've got like my office, my boss is amazing. She's one of my biggest supporters ever.
mm,
And there's a couple of the girls in our office, and they're actually doing the injections,
mm,
and like their results, like aren't even in comparison to what I'm doing.
mm, mm,
And as much as I try and sort of go, hey guys, mightn't be the best thing for you, and there's side effects, and
mm,
and stuff like that. But their main issue is that they're not changing their thinking, their mindset, their habits and things like that. Whereas, in the BBA, you're taught, you know, to eat food, like food, what we're meant to do,
mm, mm,
and to have a proper exercise program and to be moving and things like that.
mm. Simple things that people have obviously heard before.
And when you there's
Mm. Sorry, there's just a touch of a lag with our internet, but
what's
uh,
that?
I said there's just a touch of a lag with our internet. It's okay, but
Yeah.
they're simple things, but that's the point. Is that we think that we need more detailed plans. The more detailed your plan is, the less likely you're actually going to be to do it. So if you join a coaching program,
Hmm.
you shouldn't be looking for, like, does this have all the bells and whistles? You don't want the fucking bells and whistles. You want, do this, do
No.
this, do this, and if I do this and I stay accountable to that, will I get results? Yes, perfect. We want to uncomplicate the system, not make it more complicated. I want to touch on what you said then around Ozempic, and for that matter, other injections or tablets of this kind. You know, um, interestingly, I'm not actually completely against them. However, the
Yeah,
big
for the
caveat,
right reasons. That's yeah.
for the right reasons, but it's what comes with the injections, what comes with it. If you are making medicinal changes, but there's no lifestyle change involved, the studies have already shown that the moment a person stops Ozempic, the hunger returns, the weight returns, and if there's no change to lifestyle, all the weight's going to come back on again, plus more, because the
Hmm.
likelihood that you've lost muscle in the process, meaning your metabolism is slower. I might sort of say that again for those of you that are considering going down the Ozempic line. Um, I think Ozempic, in some cases, is quite beneficial if you're really stuck, but you must be having resistance training in your program, and you must be eating enough protein, because if all that happens is you just lose tons of weight really, really quickly, you're going to find yourself in 2 to 10 years in some real strife, because you've lost muscle mass, you haven't changed your lifestyle, and this is a perfect recipe for just stacking the weight back on again the moment that you stop the drug. If you follow with that, I want to just kind of wind out this kind of chat that we're having around how has it actually impacted your family, specifically your relationship with your kids and your husband?
I think having Glenn on board with this has been like just the best thing
Big time.
ever.
Yeah.
Um, being able to, have that support. He understands, and if I'm, say for instance, if I don't feel like cooking or something like that, instead of us both going, oh, let's just get takeaway, he'll be like, you know what, I'll cook.
Mm.
I'm all right, I'll cook.
Mm.
Or we might get one of the like perform meals or something like that. Like
Yep.
that to us is the our takeaway. That's our little special treats.
Yep. Yep.
So that neither of us have to cook. But that's sort of um, yeah, it's been so good, and seeing him achieve what he's achieved as well, like 20 kilos down as well, and
Like
he's starting to get into the maintenance
between your
side of things,
families,
and
between your
starting to
family,
build
like
himself, and he's the arms, and I'm like constantly squeezing his arms.
how good is that? Oh, it makes me so excited. And how old are your kids?
So Logan's 8, and Eloise, she'll be 3 in November.
Wow. And so that's like really impactful ages of mum and dad making changes to their lifestyle, and those lifestyle changes flowing onto their
Yeah,
kids. Like, talk about
yeah,
like pride
yeah,
instilled. I putting
yeah.
myself in the position of your kids. Like, look at what mum and dad have. You noticed that are they starting to use words, if not already, like healthy, or noticing your behaviors, or mummy doesn't do
Oh
this?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
It.
Yeah, 100%. Like, even Eloise, she'll, if one of us isn't in bed in the morning, she'll ask the other one, him, like she knows that first thing. And Logan, he wanted to have a watch that counts his steps.
Oh, so good.
Like, yeah, and he's starting to more. He asked us the other day about calories because we're using the word calories. What's calories? So we were sort of trying to explain, just basically that, there's calories in all foods, and, we shouldn't be eating too many calories. And he was like, oh, so you and dad must have really stopped eating a lot of calories because of the weight that you've lost. And I'm like, that's it, mate. That's exactly right.
Oh,
So they're very aware. They're
and
so aware,
you know
big
what
time.
the greatest
Yeah.
thing about
And
transfer.
Logan always asks us to, have you got your 10,000 steps?
He calls you out on it. Wow, that's so good. And the greatest thing about transformation is these skills that you're learning. You
Oh yeah, he calls
you
us out.
you can pass them on to you're now not the blind leading the blind, as in you're not a parent that's sitting there trying to guess what to
Hmm.
tell your kids. You can actually teach them while they're young to hopefully save them from the pains that you went through. Like, that's phenomenal. So um I might
Exactly.
yeah, I might leave it
Yeah.
there. Oh, it's just a shame that your internet's a bit dicky because we chopped out a couple of times. But guys, what
I'm
about that?
sorry.
You are getting some serious
And here
love.
I'm thinking my office, it'll be good.
It's good. Yeah, look, doesn't matter. The love that you're getting and the commitment, and the congratulations around your commitment that you're getting inside of the girls group right now. Look, ladies, let's just break this down. How has Kate got results? Okay, firstly, she's coachable. She asks questions. She's not fucking perfect. I'll tell you that much. Clearly, she struggled with this stuff for a very long period of time. She was probably, we haven't dug into traumas or any of that stuff here, because whilst they might exist, she's just been willing to take messy, shitty, horrible action. And there's a lesson in that for all of us, both men and women. Number two, she's got in the trenches with a partner. Like, when you're doing this and you don't have to make two separate dinners because dad doesn't care and mum does, like, that helps a hell of a lot. So having conversations with your partner around like why it's important to you and how that benefits them and him and her, and whoa, what a great conversation. The practically the third thing that I want to say is this. Ladies, look me in the eye. Look down the camera at these sultry eyes. Hey, if you are not lifting weights, you are making the biggest mistake. You might like spin bikes. You might like skipping. You might like going for runs. There's nothing wrong with that. All exercise is fantastic. But the reason that Kate's been able to lose such a large amount of weight in a relatively short timeline, I'm going to repeat it, is because she has lifted weights and prioritized resistance training. Only second is walking, right? She hasn't gone out and tried to flog herself on row machines and crazy cardio apparatuses. She's gone to the gym. She's lifted heavy. She's pushed close to failure. And look what happens. And the impact of that, you must hear this, the impact of that is her metabolism has stayed strong, meaning that all she needs to do is reduce her calories slightly. And guess what? She's in a calorie deficit because her metabolism is so strong. And this is what happens when you prioritize strength training. So congratulations to you and Glenn on your results. Phenomenal. And it's just so great to see this, for your family and, to an old friend. It's like obviously tickles me a little bit to see this happening. So it's great. Guys, if you got value out of this, please let us know in the comments that it's been helpful and inspiring. Thanks so much, Kate, for getting up at 6 o'clock. Well, 4 o'clock to go to the gym first and then come in and do the podcast. This has been the Better Body Academy podcast with the beautiful Kate Astley, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Wow. Cool beans. All right, I'm going to stop us on Instagram here. So we're good.
Thank you. Dude,
let me just see because I was streaming on Instagram at the same time, just like looking at the screen, I wasn't able to see the comments, but incredibly proud of you, Ash says, and Xanth says, muscles, 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 muscles. You're an inspiration. And Sarah says, morning, Kate, this is so great. Go, warrior. I love this for you. And Jacinda says, you want to make it realistic and achievable. Yeah, 100%. She's got plenty of muscle, Kate says. Nikki says, wow, you should be so proud. And Kayla says, that is absolutely incredible. So have a great day. This was a great podcast, Benny says. And yeah, so dude, thank you so much for coming in. You feel good? Feel good about telling your story?
No problems. Yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking to start with, and I'm like, nah, I'm all good.
Nailed it. I'll tell you what, I'll send you $10 in the mail to get some new internet.